What is up, YouTube? Bubbles and Ball Cards back with another video. And I have to say, folks, I hope you all are having a beautiful Monday out there. We are almost to the end of August, and I really do hope you've had a wonderful start to your week. For those that have checked out the new channel with me and Refractor Jones, the podcast, the card chatter, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Many more episodes to come. Refractor is a wealth of knowledge in this hobby, and I am honored to be able to sit down and have discussions with him and share those with you guys. So thank you, Refractor. Thank you to everybody that has watched and subscribed. If you have not yet, go over, check out the card chatter, hit the subscribe. I've also created a podcast forum that's on like Spotify and Amazon and all that stuff if you just prefer to do the podcast style. But we do appreciate your support, and we hope that you enjoy it. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so as well. Hit that notification bell. And also, please like if you enjoy this video, and definitely comment down below. This is a fun one. And I'm saying fun because I took so much heat. I took so much hell for such a long time. And, you know, back in early 2020, when I first started, doing SGC videos, this video right here was my first ever SGC video. This one right here. It came in March, I think it was March 31st of 2020 is when I did that video. I got my return back, my first order ever with SGC. I believe I sent it out early March and got it back. But anyway, that's kind of the video that turned Baubles and Ball Cards into a channel. It's also kind of the video where many folks who have either submitted through us or I have became friends with across the years, that's where it all started. That's like the key video to this channel. You see other videos on the screen, and I do have these sorted by most popular, and you can see 2.9 thousand is my highest viewed video. And folks may wonder, well, why do you keep doing videos? It is what it is, right? I've admitted the algorithm is a fickle beast. I don't know how to play the algorithm. I enjoy playing around with Photoshop, making my thumbnails. I put a title in, and I let it be. It kind of is what it is. It's just an extension of my hobby. But the one thing that has bothered me across my ventures with doing YouTube content is sometimes the negativity, the debating, and you'll hear that, well, so-and-so on a bigger channel said this, so you're wrong, right? And sometimes that does bother me. And it especially bothered me going back, when I first started out, I used to go live every single night. I would go live for about 45 minutes to an hour. Before lives were really a common thing, honestly. I didn't use StreamYard. I would use OBS, and I would just go live. I wasn't very good at video editing, and going live just made things easier. I felt better than sitting here behind a blank mic and a blank camera, just basically talking to myself. I felt more comfortable talking to an audience, answering questions, discussing topics, showing different various things that I was doing or within the hobby, whatever. And then, obviously, when my grandmother got sick, I detached from YouTube a bit. But I kept doing it, and I kept doing cards because it gave me an outlet. It gave me something to keep my mind busy. But there was one thing that kept getting on my nerves. It kept bothering me. It would upset me at times. And obviously, with everything with my grandmother, I was in a bad mental state. I was in a bad emotional state. And I kind of let it weigh on me even more. And it was just the constant like arguing, the constant debate, the constant, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, he's right, all this nonsense stuff, right? And it started to feel like a weight, right? So I kind of pulled the plug on a few things and kind of took a reset, refocus. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to do it mostly for fun. Mostly just an extension of my hobby, but I also want to put out content that can be helpful to folks. Now, don't get me wrong. I do get passionate sometimes. I do speak out, and, one might even say I rant, right? I've had my moments. But overall, pulling the plug on the stressful situations kind of allowed me to enjoy doing YouTube more. Now, do I have the largest channel? No, by far I don't. Do I get the most views? Absolutely not. But I do have fun. Going to the National this year was a wonderful experience, getting to meet folks that I became friends with. I spoke on all of that. So, even though I don't make a ton of revenue, I don't have sponsorships, I'm not getting rich sitting here doing this. And really, I don't know that anybody's getting rich, but I don't get a lot of disposable income from this to just go about and do as I wish with. It would be very nice if I could do an extension of my hobby to make money to put back into buying cards. That would be amazing. I would love to build my collection or show you on mail days of stuff that I bought off of doing YouTube. But unfortunately, that isn't the case. But it hasn't stopped me from doing videos. Today, something happened that I really, in a way, jokingly want to speak on, but in also a serious sense. Those of you that have been around the channel for a long time, y'all know that Neo, Northeast Ohio Cards and Comics, Neo Cards and Comics, he used to be in the Facebook group. I'm not going to disclose his real name because I don't know if he wants that out there. But he was in the group. He wasn't under Neo, obviously. He was under by his personal name. He would sit and debate with me over and over and over and over. It didn't matter really what I said. I could praise anything and it would be debated, right? It was like he would get on, and as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, I would go live every night. He would get on in my lives and just constantly, he was the one that just wanted to debate. Constantly. Debate. And it was really, he had to have the last word. He always had to be right. He always wanted to debate. And as I said, I had to pull the plug on things because I was mentally and emotionally in a bad state after losing my grandmother. And I just couldn't really deal with it much anymore. I was tired of hearing it. I was tired of debating it. I'm going to show you guys some things in a minute that really there was no reason to debate it. If other influencers, if other big channels can say things that are not necessarily true or do things their way and folks believe in it, then why can't I do things my way and share it with the community, right? So I just got sick of the debating. Now, I'm going to, again, I pointed this video out right here. I do have it up right here. You can see SGC grading, make money and add to your sports card collection, whatever, right? This video was March of 2021, okay? I've done previous videos. This one I did back in May of 2020. It's a similar style video, but I didn't go into as much breakdown. This video was shortly after I got this return back. I showed sales of what I was actually selling cards for. I had the clips like in the video showing what the card sold for. So this isn't anything new. Like, I have spoke on SGC for a long time. I have shared my model. I've shared my strategies. I've done videos kind of platforming it, laying it out, and explaining what works for me, right? So in this video, and I want this to be known because there's been some folks now that are sponsored. And for the longest time, I was constantly accused of being paid by SGC because I spoke about them. It got to the point where I did this, which is a disclaimer. And if you notice here in the red, I put, please note, before anyone accuses me, or before anyone asks or accuses me, I do not work for SGC. I do not collect a check from SGC. I do not get any special treatment from SGC. These are my personal opinions and are not the opinion of SGC. I am simply a customer of SGC who has used them for the past year and have results to prove that these methods work. You use the company that you prefer and whatever works for you. This is only to share information and my personal opinions, and I even say this may not work for everyone. This was included in the beginning of this video because of the amount of debating, the amount of accusations that I was paid by SGC, which has came full circle now that since there are folks actually being paid by SGC. But I was being accused so heavily of it, and people did not understand that I was speaking on what was working for me. That I had to feel the need to put a disclaimer in my video, in the beginning, to lay it all out in detail right there. Okay? I wanted to share that. But then we get in here further into the video. I'm not going to go through and play it all, but I talk about PSA and how much their charges were at the time. It was $25 a card, 100 cards at $25, whatever. We talk about estimated return time, which approximately 8 months. That turned into 18 months. So, you can kind of see here just a little synopsis of what I did. Then I did SGC. I did this video in March. I had it back, as of right now, people are getting approximately 10-day turnaround, but let's just assume they get busier and it takes 25, right? So I was being realistic that things could change, and I said, okay, you'll get it back in April of 2021. And this is how much it would cost you to grade, right? So then what I did is I did in less conveyor value. So I based this on just an average value. You could have had, a $500 card and a $50 card, whatever. I just went through and said, all right, you're sending 100 cards in. Your average value is $100 resale per card. And this was for math purposes to show what I'm about to share with you. Right here I say, let's give SGC a 70% value of PSA. So if you had $10,000 with PSA, then you had $7,000 with SGC. Easy math, right? So anyway, I go in here and I run all these numbers and stuff, and then I get back here and I say, well, why would you choose SGC, right? Just kind of explaining this, laying it out. And I talk about, well, let's say your next order out, you'd have that next order back around middle of May where you can sell another $7,000, $4,500 profit, and blah, 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 and keep repeating the cycle, okay? This was just a strategy, a plan, an idea, something that I was doing, sending cards every month, getting them back, selling, sending cards, get them back, selling, right? Rinse and repeat, or as Neo likes to say, churn and burn, okay? I was sharing this information. Funny thing is, I even put right here, I understand you can send more than one submission to PSA. And I even shared an example right here. Well, not this one, but here would be your monthly. This is SGC, 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 on and on and on, right? This would be when you got your PSA back. Now, obviously, this month, PSA is much higher, but you had all of these going along the way, which would then give you this graph. Your total profit if you just sent one order to PSA versus each month sending one to SGC. All right, you can see the graph difference. And then over here, I said, well, let's just assume you get lucky and you get 3 orders back from PSA. You still would have made more with SGC. Again, laid it all out. There was nothing else to explain. No easier explanation, black and white. Laid it out for everybody, telling folks, this is what I'm doing. Like, it's not hard. But now, let's fast forward to today, August 22nd, 2022. The guy that debated with me more and more and more times than anyone else out there is doing a video. Sports card grading, time versus money. And he says, we know PSA sells for more, but is that always best? And what he does here is he uses a Jalen Hurts optic holo that he assumes is at $40 each raw value. He picks 5 each, says you spend $200, does the SGC totals, then PSA total for grading costs from the cards. Estimates the turnaround time at 2 weeks for SGC and 2 to 3 months for PSA. Gives you your total right there, how much you're into the cards, right? $350 and $450. And then he breaks it down, assuming that you get these grades and what they're currently selling for and how much profit you would get after selling these cards. Make sense? Same thing with PSA. He assumes 2 10s, 3 9s, and there's your profit. And he says, hey, it's obvious PSA sells for more. But you can send another order in and make $275 with SGC, and another order with $275 with SGC, and another order with $275 with SGC, and then all of a sudden, you have a total profit of $1,650 versus $420. The same thing that I was sharing in this video in March of 2021. The same thing I was discussing in this video in May of 2020. I don't play the algorithm. I don't get, I don't have 10,000 subscribers. I don't have 3,000 views every video. But guys, just because you're the most popular channel out there or one of the popular channels out there, or if you're the small guy, doesn't always mean you know everything. It doesn't always mean that you don't know everything. He's literally saying today the exact same thing that I was debating him, trying to explain to him over 2 years ago. That he would always argue with me about over 2 years ago. Because even though I was sharing what worked for me, what has helped me build the collection I now own, even though I was laying it right out, even though I said what worked for me may not work for you, I was wrong. But now on August 22nd, 2022, he has so far had 1,975 viewers with 131 likes. And I'm sure he's got many comments that's agreeing with him. It's interesting that all along I've been saying the same thing. I guess it takes an algorithm for people to believe it. Anyway, Neil, thanks for finally telling the folks. I am unsure of this timing because, quite honestly, the PSA backlog is ending and they're opening a second facility, and now you're saying this is a good idea? I don't know. But it is what it is. I really have nothing else to say. You finally understood, I guess. Anyway, I just wanted to share it with you guys because I did find it very humorous. I struggled with this for a long time with him, debating and everything else. And I'm just glad that finally people can now see what I was speaking on over 2 years ago. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Again, Subscribe if you haven't. If you enjoy the videos, give it a thumbs up. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.